Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
We've got Michael Hellickson with us, and he's with Club Wealth, and he's talking about all the different businesses that he's had along the years, but at the end of the day, his passion is coaching. That's what you were meant to do. That's what you're doing today, and we're going to go over some of the successful things you help your clients with so they can succeed. I know that right now most are putting together their plans. Yep. They probably should have started a couple of months ago, but if they haven't yet, maybe we can give them a quick road to success, Michael.
You know, it's interesting. Everybody should, you're right, start in about October planning for 2016 or for their next year, but the reality is most don't. There's a lot of things that we want to do, that we need to do, that we know we should do, that we just never get around to, you know, where there's our business plan, our marketing plan, our vision boards, our affirmations, our perfect daily schedule, you know, just all the goals that we need to be setting, all of this stuff that needs to happen. Unfortunately, a lot of people just don't take the time to do it, but it matters. It really does help. So,
I know it's what's helped. I know it's helped Gino and I change our world. We do regular planning sessions, and we have goals, and we set them up with our teams, and it's changed our lives.
And you know what it takes is it takes breaking away from the business. We talk about it all the time. It's working on the business, not in the business. So we break away from the business. We go to a different city. We get a hotel room. We put big Post-its up on the board, and we just start going to town on a business plan and something that we want to. And, you know, I think it's important to say that not every plan that we've tried to put together has executed the way we've envisioned it. But you've got to start somewhere. And if you start somewhere, then with the end in sight, you'll get there at some point.
That's right. It's like Napoleon Hill said, right? Begin with the end in mind. And it's true. You really have to. You know, one of the things you mentioned is about your team meetings and getting together with your team. One of the things that we really recommend for real estate agents and mortgage brokers is to get together on a daily huddle every single day and have your lender and the real estate agents involved in that. I would love to see that connection between the agents
that's interesting.
And lenders be a lot tighter. And as those relationships build and as you have that meeting every morning and the transaction coordinators on it and the buyer's agents are on it and the lenders are on it, everybody gets to talk about all the transactions, the relationships deepen, and more transactions happen because now when you're referring the agent or the agent is referring you, it's a much deeper connection than just, oh yeah, I've got this lender I use, you should give them a call.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting that the best referrals, and I know that you're passionate about the way people refer you, and the best referrals are not necessarily from people that are in the business. It's from people that know you, they like you, they know a lot about you, and they trust you. And those are the best referrals because whoever calls you knows that they've got the transfer of trust from that other individual.
The challenge is that most people that get referral type business get it on accident. It just kind of happens.
Right.
They're not deliberate about it, right? And that's why you get these agents that think, oh, look at me, I did 20 transactions this year, I'm on fire. It's like, quick, somebody grab a fire extinguisher. I mean, that guy's not on fire. You know, if you want to really to get referrals on a consistent basis from your database, you've got to be very, very deliberate about it. You've got to make sure you're doing your calls, your personal handwritten notes. You got to drop by and visit them once in a while. You've got to do client events. You know, there's a lot of things that go into this and a lot of effort that goes into this that I think is lost on a lot of agents.
So he kind of touched on something that I'm going to jump on because, I don't know, Michael, I think when we first met, I was quite a bit heavier than I am today. We went through Don and I.
We actually shrunk our studio since we lost weight.
So Don and I went on this road to weight loss, and people didn't even think Don had to lose any weight, but he still ended up losing 40 pounds, and I had lost at one point, and now I've gained some back because that was not a regular lifestyle that I wanted to live, but I had lost 110 pounds, and I think the same.
He's half a Gino now,
and I think the same thing relates to all the things we're talking about. It takes one thing. It's one simple thing, and it's discipline. You've got to be able to build, and I think we're going to talk about this next, is the perfect daily schedule. And so we're going to talk about the perfect daily schedule, and you've got to execute. Because if you don't execute, you won't get the results.
You know, the problem is most real estate agents, I ask them all the time. We do these strategy sessions with agents that, want to learn how to grow their business. And I always ask them, I say, so what time do you show up in the office every day? And the answer never ceases to amaze me. Oh, usually between 9 and 10. And what's going on in the back of my mind is, yeah, you mean like 11,
right?
Or maybe around lunchtime if you show up at all. And the problem is that they don't have the discipline, as you mentioned. They don't have the discipline to do every single day what they have to do to succeed. And really that comes down to, like you said, the perfect daily schedule. So the perfect daily schedule that I like to use, really, it's the way that we teach it is you have certain things you've got to have in your life all the time. You got to start with the big rocks, right? The most important things, and that's your family. So the first thing you do is you grab your Outlook calendar, or your Google calendar, or your iCalendar, whatever it is you use, and you literally create a recurring appointment in your calendar for the times that you want to be with your family. Then you go down the list, and now it's, I want to, what's my church time, or when am I going to work out, or when am I going to get ready for the day, and then when do I do my prospecting? But you literally have to block out all these different times in your schedule as recurring appointments in your schedule, so that as you're doing whatever it is you're doing, an alarm goes off and says, hey, now it's time to switch gears and do this, whatever that this is.
Yeah, and I made that shift, and today we had an example of where it backfired on us, right? So I'm pretty religious about my Outlook calendar now. I look at it all the time. And Don tells me this morning, he's like, hey, where are you? You're supposed to be here at 9 a.m. I'm like, not on my calendar, buddy.
So talking to him does no good anymore, so
Right.
I feel like his wife. Goes in one ear and out the other. And I know Nella well, and I know he thinks that we all sit with a crystal ball. We have one here, actually, and know what he's thinking. And anyways, we want to, unfortunately, we're getting close on time. So on our next segment, Michael, let's talk about how, I mean, you kind of started to set up the perfect daily schedule. Let's talk how that can relate to the real estate industry or anyone when they're trying to accomplish their goals in 2016. Like Gino was alluding to, we finally made some adjustments. One of them was our health, because one of the things we had to do is we had to move it to the mornings, because our industry is uncontrollable at times. Plus, we use a lot of energy. If you're going to do the job right, you use up that energy to inform your clients, to communicate with your clients. So by the end of the day, I'm shocked. The last thing I can think about doing is going to the gym. Now we go first thing in the morning, and it's done, and actually motivates us for the entire day and gets our adrenaline going, and it burns calories throughout the whole day, and so forth. I'm just giving a short example of how we had to make a shift, and I'm nocturnal by nature.
I was going to say, he was not a morning person.
Hated it.
Now he gets to the gym earlier than I do.
Now it's become, what I want to touch on is how to make these things a habit, because it had to become a habit. It took a while. Believe me, that first month, rolling out of the bed was like pulling teeth. A little dentist was next to my bed every morning. I hated that guy. So let's talk about how we can help a lot of you out there really make a difference. That's what Gino's and my goal in life is. Not just to help you get into a home of your dreams, but also to change your life. And Michael Hellickson with Club Wealth is going to help us with that when we come back to the Donna Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. Don't go away. This is going to change your life.